Hey everyone, welcome to tonight. I'm so glad you're here to join with us. And we just wanted to share just something that's been on our hearts because we know there's a lot going on, there's a lot being said, and really we wanted to encourage people with God's design. Like we are made in the image of God, like all the different systems and how everything works together is just amazing. And so as I started to study it. And same with Angela. She's a certified health coach. As we started to see these things, it made us more passionate about sharing about health because God's design is actually not flawed. It's extremely powerful and extremely effective. And he put things into the earth to be able to utilize to strengthen that design. And so we're just going to talk about that a little bit and really how it all works. So I want to first start on what are the roots of disease. Typically, they are stemmed in nutritional deficiency, inflammation, imbalanced blood sugar, and poor gut health. A lot of times because of the standard American diet, which if you guys didn't know, that the acronyms for that is SAD, S-A-D, which that I was like, whoa, that in itself. So the diet, stress, medication all impact your health. And they really are linked to those roots of diseases or influence them in a way. So I'm going to go over inflammation first. It's a silent killer. If you look it up, go research it. It's really eye-opening when you go and see what it does, how it affects the body, what it does long-term. And what that looks like can be achy joints, brain fog, weight, either too much, too little, nerve pain, back pain, things like that. And then you have imbalanced blood sugar. What that looks like is brain fog, headaches, when you're hangry. Y'all, I used to struggle with being hangry, poor sleep, sugar craving, irritability, stress, gut health, GI issues, digestive issues, food allergies, mood, sleep, your immune system. 70% of your immune cells are made in your gut and then get dispersed out in different ways. And then you have your nutritional gap, things like anemic, your MTHFR. If you're familiar with that, that's just your cellular detox process and your cellular nutritional uptake process as well. Or one of the main ones. And so that affects your immune system, actually growth, weight, mental health, and I said the immune system already. So I'm going to share a little bit of our story and how learning those things really helped us take ownership. Because one thing that I found is when you take ownership, you start to research, you start to figure out what your body needs instead of just like throwing things at it and just ignoring it and going on your way is really important. Like looking for the little, light signals on your dashboard for your car. What happens if you start ignoring those after a while? Guess what? More are going to pop up. And you'll notice that with people who struggle with just different things of inflammation, achy joints, that it will progress if the roots are not addressed. Like if Band-Aids are continually put on them. Just think of a wound. If you kept putting a Band-Aid on a wound, and maybe not a very clean Band-Aid, what happens? It's not going to go well. It's not going to heal well. So our story is my husband struggled with IBS for decades. We started some plant-based products. They were amazing, really helped give him back his quality of life. More than anything, we had tried Western medical things. We had tried lots of natural things. And so then my oldest had allergies, food sensitivities, was exposed to mold, didn't sleep for a year, from year 3 to year 4. And so in using these plant-based products, we really were able to hit those root issues and then add in other things that we found she needed as we went through just healing her body from being exposed to mold, from the MTHFR to the getting rid of the allergies in her body. We took the triplex and we dosed it to her body weight at age 3. Fast forward 2 years, we took her in to get her blood work done. And the pediatrician said her blood work was the cleanest she had seen in her 20 years of practice. What were we doing? And so we were doing something right, because guess what? Her body's starting to heal itself. Was it quick? Did it happen in 3 months? 6 months, a year, things started to small steps. But what happened was when we hit that 2-year mark for her, I mean, her body was doing amazing. A lot of inflammation gone. For my youngest, she had colic when she was born. I started taking it actually for her, and it was amazing at getting rid of colic for a baby. So let all the mamas know about this. It's amazing for that. For hormones. For me, it helped with hormones, brain fog, weight, energy. I had years where I didn't feel my big toes, and I didn't realize that wasn't like a normal thing. I was like, maybe a pinched nerve. But as I reduced all the inflammation in my body, guess what? It was gone. Year 2 of being on these amazing products, I ended up having a root canal go bad, systemic infection, really take a number on my lymphatic system, my immune system, everything. Had to go through 2 jaw surgeries. And these products literally kept me alive and able to take care of my kids during that time. I mean, it's just amazing. I'm thankful God gave it to us for such a time in our family as this. And I mean, when my husband ended up on food stamp, was with his IBS at the height, he was bedridden for 3 months, and that takes a toll on your finances. We ended up on food stamps and Medicaid, and fast forward 3 years now, sharing health and wellness, we hit the first 6-figure rank in the company, and we're able to dream again. We're able to get out of the hole. And so it's just amazing what God has been able to do through just being able to heal our body and feel better. So that's our story. And what we did and what I recommend everyone is finding amazing tools, commit to a process. And that means time, consistency, water, troubleshooting. And so let me tell you, there's a book, and you can ask, it's Your Body's Many Cry for Water. Body's Many Cries for Water. And it talks about how everyone is dehydrated. So drinking half your body weight in ounces of water is crucial for your immune system, and things like that. So I'm going to sort of jump into that. Your body is, 90% water? I'm hopefully not mixing up numbers, but your lymphatic system so your gut cells are created, like 70% of your immune system cells are created in your gut. Your lymphatic system is actually what helps carry certain ones. And within the lymphatic lymph nodes, T cells are created and get dispersed. Well, if you are not drinking enough water, or you're having a lot of inflammation, it goes from a milky, like white, watery substance in your lymph nodes to like butter. You know how hard it is to squeeze butter out of a tube, a very small tube. So when you have these things going on, or you have leaky gut and it's getting into the bloodstream, you have where these toxins and these just the different things that are happening to your body are affecting all the systems, and really taking a hit on your immune system side. And that's where you see like autoimmune diseases pop up and different things like that. So, so some tips. Let me go first through what we used as a family. So I mentioned my jaw surgery. We use something called EASE. It's an anti-inflammatory. It targets inflammation. In studies, the New Zealand lipid muscle beats out all other NSAIDs. It is amazing. I went from taking 6 ibuprofen. Now they drilled, I want to back up. They drilled like a couple inches of bone out of my face all the way down to the nerve. So I was on 6 ibuprofen every 6 hours. And an infection had flared up. Fun times. So I started taking 6 E's a day all at once. And I went from 6 ibuprofen every 6 hours to 1 ibuprofen a day. Huge difference. Now, I did not eat any sugar, and I ate really clean. That's also a factor. Angela's going to touch on that. And so EASE is amazing. And then what we used is Slim. It balances your blood sugar. It's made of minerals and prebiotics, nutrients, antioxidants, which help protect the cell. The insulin is your master hormone. So when you balance your master hormone, what's going to happen to all the other hormones? It is going to balance those as well. And that for us ladies is amazing, even the little ladies. And so talking about gut health, So we hit inflammation, we hit the balanced blood sugar, and now the gut health piece. We have a probiotic that is unlike anything else on the market. It is freeze dried, so it makes it all the way into the intestines and can make it all the way to the colon, which is huge because most probiotics do not. It has antifungals and digestive enzymes. And with that blend, you're able to kill off candida, yeast overgrowth. And the reason that's really important is because scientists have found that the reason candida, yeast overgrowth exists is to decompose us when we die. And so what happens is it starts eating away at the lining of your gut, poking microscopic holes, and the term leaky gut. There you go. And you know, that gets gastric juices all into your bloodstream. Guess what happens to your lymph system? Guess what happens to all the systems? Stress. Lots of stress happening there. So when you start to have something that addresses, can actually crack the outer shell of the yeast, which is as hard as a cockroach, you have to have antifungals and digestive enzymes. Goes in, kills it, cracks it open, kills it off. Then you see things move forward in your health, in your gut health. You see things actually shift and change. And we had tried a lot of probiotics, y'all, like prescription grade. They actually made my husband worse. And the cool thing is about this probiotic is those strains are specifically anti-inflammatory. Not all strains are anti-inflammatory. So a lot of times they say the more the better. It's actually the more, if you're trying to heal your gut, the more or uninflammatory strains you have, the better, because then you can heal. And so that is, I want you to think of a little bit, a lot of times with probiotics, we think of like throwing grass seed. You're throwing grass seed into your gut. And so what happens is this has weed killer. And so what happens is now we have a lot of weeds versus good grass. And so we have a de-weeder that goes in, and then the good grass can get in. Because what happens if you throw good grass seed at weeds? It dies. So that's why this is so amazing. And so you couple that with something called BioCleanse. It's not like a normal, it's not a colon cleanse or anything like that. It's a cleanse on a cellular level. And it has to do with magnesium because 90% of the people are deficient in magnesium. And that is huge because it involves over 300 enzyme processes in your body. And guess what? That's huge for your mental health, your immune system, your overall health. Remember I said nutritional deficiencies? That's one thing where, like, if you're talking about 90%, that's a lot. And typically to get back up from a deficiency, you have to actually load higher than the recommended daily allowance. If you do just the recommended daily allowance, it will take you a long time to get up. But if you do more than the recommended daily allowance, then it helps get you back up to stable levels. And then you can do, what they recommend daily. And this blend is actually very unique because it's coupled with O2 and it hits the gut. It expels, it releases O2 into the bloodstream, cleansing on a cellular level. It's coupled with sodium bicarbonate, which is great because that makes it bioavailable and it increases the alkalinity in your body. It's amazing. It also helps reduce allergies, cleaner cells, so good. And so one last thing I'm going to touch on is X Factor Plus. We talk about, oh wait, no, you're doing that one. Okay. Never mind. I'm going to switch gears. You're not doing X Factor? Okay. So X Factor, we have soil depletion. So we don't have as much nutrients in our food. We have, processed foods that affects the immune system, mental health, fatigue, edema, so many different things. So when you fill those nutritional gaps, you are actually being preventative in disease and sickness, because guess what? Your body has the right nutrients to fight off, defend, heal, and repair, which is huge. Okay. So as you fill in those nutritional gaps, and remember, a lot of times it takes more. This one is an aloe base and you absorb everything 300 times more. So it's huge in just being able to really uptake and take that. It's bioavailable. It is MTHFR friendly, if you need to know that. And so it is just a powerful combination. Now, when we have dealt with fighting off just different things, there's vitamin C. This is one thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of people take a lot of different supplements. Ours is very different because it works synergistically together. So it does not tax your liver, and your kidneys. And we recommend drinking a lot of water. If you take a lot of individual supplements, you are now putting a load on your body that it might not be able to process because of inflammation and gut health and balanced blood sugar issues. So just understanding that, that piece in supplementation, and do it wisely, do it well. So vitamin C protocol, real quick, I want to go over. It's fabulous and amazing. Our BioCleanse is very high in vitamin C. We have a lot of things that help increase that and actually help increase the absorption of it. So if you are using vitamin C, you will do it. You can do ascorbic acid, or you can do a liposol, if I'm saying it right, vitamin C. We use that one because it's super gentle and it goes directly right into the bloodstream. It doesn't have to go into the GI tract right away. So we do a protocol. If we feel sick, or if I'm fighting a tooth infection, I will do every 30 minutes. Take a teaspoon, that's 1,000 milligrams, and then take that until bowel tolerable. And then I'll take it every hour until bowel tolerable, and then every 2 to 3 hours bowel tolerable. What happens with vitamin C is after the 3-hour mark, it goes back to baseline. And so a lot of times people will take vitamin C, but they'll only take it once a day or maybe twice a day. Where really, for it to be effective, because it's a water soluble, you need to be drinking enough water, half your body weight ounces of water, and you need to be taking it every 2 to 3 hours to get that effect of vitamin C. I want you to think of it like a Pac-Man. Vitamin C goes in and just, no. It literally just loves to digest and destroy bacteria, viruses, fungi, things that really is trying to take out your body. So that is an amazing tip that I love. I do with my family. It's fantastic. And then just understanding, like with vitamins, like vitamin D, that is fat soluble. So a lot of people I'm finding are getting to toxic levels. Well, you have to have it with K2. You have to have it with fat. Your body has to be effectively being able to burn and assimilate things that are fat. What happens? Blood sugar, gut health, inflammation, all those things influence that. And so it's really cool to have a synergistic system that is addressing those issues. So that's all I have. And it's really good at being proactive instead of reactive. That's powerful. Go ahead, Angela.
Hey, that was awesome. Thank you. So, hey, everybody, I'm Angela Patterson, and let me just say, I grew up an athlete. I was always in health and wellness. And after getting married, I decided to do natural births, the whole 9 yards. I've been super into everything natural. My mother-in-law did oils, and I'm very familiar with all of those things, everything, looking into the natural remedies and stuff and how to stay healthy. And I've studied for becoming a health coach and learned a lot of things. And so I really wanted to share a little bit of my story, but also stuff that's practical to go along with and help go along with what Deirdre already shared with you. So for me, like I said, I learned naturally things. I grew up and we had a lot of ear infections. So my parents didn't know better. They gave me antibiotics. And I know a lot of y'all probably have been on some kind of antibiotic at some point, or some kind of medication or whatever. Those things are not good for your system, and they wreak havoc in your gut. And so my parents didn't realize that. Later, they started finding out this is one of the things that's a key staple I will have in my cabinet, y'all. It's colloidal silver, or silver bionics. That will help preventatively with ear infections, eye infections, as well as breast milk, by the way, for lactating moms. Breast milk and silver was all we used when there was some kind of infection topically, or in the eye, or in the ear, or whatever. So just, that's one of the things, is colloidal silver. So I wish I'd known that all along, because basically that caused the wrong environment in my gut because of the antibiotics. And I've struggled with digestive stuff a long time, candida, underlying yeast stuff, and it showed up in different ways. And it even began to be issues with cramping or inflammation and joint issues and stuff like that, y'all. And so then I started doing the health classes, right? One of the things I learned was over the years was getting and eliminating, and I know y'all probably know this, but eliminating processed foods, eliminating sugar, the white sugar, and natural sugars are different when it comes from fruit, or even honey can have such good benefits to it, raw, unfiltered honey, but the actual white sugar, and I started eliminating that from my diet. And then I learned about dairy, and unless it's raw dairy right from a farm, it's really not as good for you as you think. Organic raw dairy, especially goat dairy, is the best for you. FYI, I'm not saying you have to get rid of all of it, but y'all, we need to eliminate it. We're not meant to just drink tons and tons of dairy all day. I mean, like cow milk and cheese, and the amounts that we consume in America especially is way more, and it can begin to create more issues of inflammation as well. And so I learned those things. I learned to like have it in moderation, not too much. And so I was gradually eliminating these things. So this is another thing is, and you touched on vitamin C. That's huge. Vitamin C, vitamin D3, zinc, colloidal silver, elderberry syrup, but you need to get the kind, vitamin C and elderberry, look for it without sugar. And either get it locally from somebody you know makes it. I do make my own. You can make your own too. There are awesome recipes out there, or you can get it from somebody who will do it for you. Do not buy the kind that has sugar in it because it's contradicting. Let me tell you why. So a teaspoon of sugar, y'all, a teaspoon will slow down your immune system 30 minutes. So think about this, one little teaspoon, and think about how many things it's in. It's in condiments, even like it's in everything, right? And so ketchup and this and that, it all adds up. You're slowing your immune system down all the time with all the sugar you're intaking, and then your immune system's not even going to operate and work when you're in the environments of germs flying around everywhere, right? So this is just something that I've learned, and I've learned to eliminate it and have less amounts of it. But also supplements are so important because of that, because we are not probably going to be perfect all the time, right? We're going to have nutritional gaps, and there's the soil is depleted, and between that, the processed foods and the sugar and all the stuff, right? We need to have this good supplements. But I wanted to hit on a couple more foods. So processed foods, like I said, dairy, sugar. I'm going to say this too. Getting in the sun is important. If you're not getting in the sun at all and you're staying inside, you're going to be more sick. So you got to get exposure to actual sunlight, vitamin D in your body. And you need like 10 minutes a day of no sunglasses on to get it absorbed fully, and not any kind of toxic lotions on. And I also want to throw that out. Toxic lotions, toxic skincare, toxic makeup, all of that. And especially sun lotion, y'all, we've been being lied to. Stuff that has such high levels of toxicity, you're baking it into your skin, and it's causing skin cancer more than any sun would ever do to your body. And actually, between that and the sad diet, it comes up in on your skin, right? But I'm just going to throw that out there because some of y'all need to know these tips. You need to get in the sun. It's good for you. But if you're going to put on something, don't get burned, okay, y'all? Don't go get burned. But if you are going to put something on, use the stuff that's good, and we can give recommendations on another, because I didn't prepare that. But I just know this much. We have amazing skincare here too, by the way, that is paraben free and natural and not synthetic. But you need to look at ingredients. You need to start checking labels. You need to start thinking about what you're putting on your skin, on your hair, in your body, because it does matter. And so over the years, I've created an environment of wellness somewhat already before supplements, okay? By cutting out these bad things, by eliminating some of this stuff. And I have not been sick with any kind of cold or flu or viruses in years, but now it's even better because now I've got supplements filling in my nutritional gaps on top of these things that I've learned. And I'm going to say too, garlic is a natural antibiotic. Garlic, you need to have this in your cupboard. You can make garlic hot tea, and you can chop it up and just chunk it. You might chunk it and chug it. Oh gosh. Anyway, But y'all, magnesium is huge for your body. Lemons are good for you. Fermented foods, and we're about to release greens, by the way, with fermented foods in it, and that's so good for your body. It creates a good environment of alkalining things in your system. And so, y'all, it's that. And Lynn, there's a few other tips, and then I'm going to get into a little more here of what happened with supplements. So for me, even though I was doing all these things, like I said, they helped me to not get viruses and flus, but I did still have inflammation to a level of having aches and pains. I did still have some candida, y'all, and that has improved majorly since I started this system. But this is the thing, our active, I was going to go over this. So I got on our triplex system, the same system Deirdre talked about, and it balanced everything out with my hormones. It balanced everything out with my gut. Finally, I'm getting to answers with inflammation gone, with candida being addressed, and on top of the way I've been eating, y'all, on top of these other tools and things that I'm telling y'all about, I learned how these are actually helping create a better environment in my gut. And now I've got the full picture going on. So now I'm feeling good, I'm healthier, and I've got the right supplements because of the nutrients that we're not getting fully the amount we could get, right? Even as healthy as I ate, and I ate pretty clean, I cut out a lot of things. I still wasn't quite getting the root issues. And so that is what the triplex has done for me. The ease, which I know she touched on, the ease has got that New Zealand lipid muscle. It's got the turmeric in it. It helps aches, discomforts, bloating, y'all. It's helped get rid of the pain. This is going to be huge because let me just say this real quick. Right now, 72% that are the most sick with certain viruses in the hospitals have diabetes, okay, diabetes or overweight. All of that stems from gut health and inflammation. You're 9 times more likely to have, they say you're 9 times more likely to have these viruses and have it worse statistically if you have gum disease. What is that rooted in? Inflammation. This right here is going to help inflammation. The ease products that we have, as well as eliminating some of the processed foods, the dairy and things like that, but it's not going to do it by itself. I know that from experience. And eating all the right healthy stuff, which fruits and vegetables and leafy greens, y'all, lean meats, all of that's amazing. But unless you're all the time organic with the best soil, you're not going to fully get to the root. But of course, it's still good to do both. So I've learned to do both. I've learned to eat healthy and to put in the right things, to stay, at least in moderation, of some of these toxic things, not synthetic, not putting that on me and in me. And then these supplements, and I feel amazing. And the other thing I did want to touch on was exercising is so important. When y'all are doing this system and you're eating right and you're not exercising, you're not going to get the fullness of what you could get if you start moving. Anything is better than nothing. 10 minutes a day is better than doing nothing. So whatever workout you will do is the best workout. So start with walking 5 minutes, increase it to 10, increase it to 15, then add in a little bit of sprints. You know what I mean? Do something to move your body. Sweating, getting those toxins out through sweating. It's so important. And this system will work better with drinking tons of water, getting exercise, being consistent, and being careful what you're eating and that kind of thing. It's all going to come together and you are going to be the best version of yourself. And then of course, sleep. We got to start, and I'm speaking to myself, y'all, we got to sleep good. We have to get the sleep in. And so it's so important, y'all, when you want to balance your immune system. If you start working on habit change, you've got to work on habit change with your sleep, your eating, your exercise, and then taking the supplements and the nutrition that your body is craving so that you are going to feel your best. And the active, I do want to touch on this because this is amazing for getting in your superfoods and antioxidants. I just love this because it gives me energy and I feel amazing. If I have a headache or anything, it just goes away. So this increases the nitric oxide by 175%. And if you don't know what that does, that basically helps kill off viruses, bacteria, and fungi in your bloodstream. This is amazing for cardiovascular health. It's going to help basically pump the oxygen and blood to your vital organs easier. It's giving you those superfoods and antioxidants that your body's going to need, especially if you've just been having processed foods or even the best foods with a depleted soil. This is going to give you what you need. And it's in the best form, the way that they created it. And again, that helps your mental health and your immune system health. And this reduces inflammation too. So it also helps with that. But this is also good if you're in good health. This is just good for workout recovery and a pre-workout. I just love this. I will not go without it. I mix it with my Slim every day and have it. And y'all, my pain and inflammation's gone. The acid reflux is gone. The stuff that had happened from just, like I said, the antibiotics, I guess, right? I'm getting the balance now that I need. And then on top of that, adding in the things that I know to do. So there's so much more we could cover, y'all. We can't go all night long or anything. But I mean, I do want to say two more things that are going to help you, that are something anybody can do. Chewing your food more is going to actually help your body to digest your food better and to get more out of it. This is something that people don't think about, except their mom told them when they were little. Breathing, taking deep breaths. But this is more important than those two things. The most important is releasing stress. But let me just say, when you have stress, you're not digesting your food right. You are worried, fearful, stuff going on at work, whatever it is, causing the environment of stress. You actually create an environment in your body where bacteria, viruses, germs it's going to fester. It's going to absorb that more. Does that make sense? It's going to cause an environment of the opposite of what you're wanting with wellness. And it's so funny because the Lord talks about it so much in the scripture. Do not fear, do not worry, do not be anxious for anything. He knows how he created our bodies to function and thrive, and being in rest is so important. Even stopping to chew my food and not be anxious, y'all, is important. It causes me to get more out of it. It causes my body to now be able to do everything it's supposed to. Stopping and breathing correctly, taking my rest at night, exercising, all that works together to help stress get out. And so releasing that to the Lord. If anybody's sick, if you feel like you're always getting sick, you're never feeling like you can have a good immune system. It's not just all the things we mentioned to do or not do, but this is the biggest one, I think. It's getting rid of the fear and the stress that comes on your body, and it creates also irritation in your gut. It can create all kinds of diseases and sicknesses, just having stress. And so I want to just encourage you to release it to the Lord. If you need to do it daily or 5 times a day or 100 times a day, release it to the Lord. Whatever's going on, make it a habit to pray, to exercise, to breathe, and to release that stress, and to allow the Lord to take that weight off. And this is going to greatly impact your health. So